Glad to have you back. It's still Business Daily right here on Trust Television. Now we go into our discussion. We're looking at the cost of governance in Nigeria. Quite a lot of development from yesterday, though there are denial from some quarters, but again, there have also been reactions from CSO and of course the Labour Union. But now we'll look at this development with Mr. Stephen Nwachukwu, who is an economist and of course a financial analyst. He joined me virtually from Abuja here. Good morning, Mr. Steve.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
Let me get your reaction, your immediate reaction to what we had yesterday, though there have been denials here and there. But again, 114% increase in salaries for public office holders. What will you say to that?
There are two ways to actually look at the very figures. And one, you may look at it from an expert point of view. Then the other one, you can also look at it from that public opinion or court of public opinion point of view, in the sense that you're looking at the current sufferings of Nigerians and workers. You remember a couple of days ago, the organized labor went into discussion with the federal government requesting for an increment in their salary, considering the hardship, the hunger and troubles they are passing through as a result of a couple of policies of government which have actually not gone down well with Nigerians and also the organized labor. So these are two ways to look at it. First, if you look at it from that administrative or look at it from that expert point of view, you will say for sure it is justifiable to actually increase the salaries and wages of public servants, in the sense those in the category of judges, the politicians, and name it. So it is justifiable because the last time they did it was about 16, 17 years ago. Considering the fact that the laws permits them, the law guarantees after a period of time that you have to review it and consider some metrics or consider some indices, which are not in positive or in support of their existing salaries or wages. So that could be from the expert point of view or from the administrative point of view that yes, it could be justified that their salaries or their wages should be increased, because over 17 years now, you remember that the Naira have lost value more than 1,000 times. And food, name it, cost of living and all the rest of them have also gone up. In as much as these are the top hierarchy of our those we recruit to govern our system, from that of the politician, the presidency, the National Assembly, the governors, and the rest. Yes, they are currently living large or huge. They are living in expense of Nigerians. But from the administrative point of view, it is also good to put what is required. Yes, they have other short corners they actually receive. In fact, the truth or the fact remains that as we speak, some CEOs of federal agencies earn higher than even the president. Ironically, some CEOs of federal parastatals who the president appoints in salary wage formats, they earn higher than what the current political office holder. So it's an ironic. So, and these politicians actually prefer it in that manner so that you can be able to question or to say they earn so much, but they loot so much. They don't earn so much, but they loot so much.
Mr. Steve, so what you're saying is that it's okay to increase salaries of public office holders. What about Nigerians that actually bears the brunt, especially when we have policy changes like we have in the case of subsidy removal? Nigerians are the direct people that are actually facing the music as it is right now. Do you think that it's just okay for public office holders to increase their own salaries and leave the Nigerians to continue to make sacrifice that they always tell us to do?
Thank you. That's the second leg of what I earlier said, the second way of looking at it, which is that public opinion. What do you think the sufferings of Nigerians? These guys are also Nigerians. The point where I looked at it from the administrative, the paper aspect. Should they be paid this amount? legitimately, what they should earn legitimately. Should it be this or that? So over time, cost of living, over time, inflation have eaten drip or have eroded most of these very allowances of their take-home pay. So it is also required, because we are looking at what is right to be done. Leave their the shorthands or the short corners they often indulge in, diverting public funds and all that. But it is actually required that their salaries be reviewed. But the question is, how do you marry this? The increment of this public civil servanthood, as those who have entrusted the leadership of the nation into, come to the sufferings of Nigeria. That's why I say the public opinion. It is not the right time to talk about increments in their salary. They should first fix the suffering, fix the challenges, fix those things that have been bothering Nigerians, which they have campaigned about in the last couple of months, that they are going to make life easier for Nigeria. So that should be their priority, not an increment. I am not saying that the increment is wrong. I am not also saying that the increment is wrong. It's just the timing of this very increment. You cannot be talking about increasing your own salary or increasing your own wage or take home, and now that Nigerians are actually suffering. You recently took away the fuel subsidy that the little palliative Nigerians are earning, are getting. Palliative, yes, it is a palliative for the entire nation, entire Nigeria, the fuel subsidy. You took it away, you withdrew it. Now you are introducing additional tariff on our electricity. That is additional cost for us. You are also introducing 7.5% in cost of taxes for diesel, the importation of diesel. You are also devaluing Naira as we speak. The Naira exchange rate is selling above 800 Naira in the IRE window. So these are all you are taking away from the people. You are taking away their little joy. You are taking away and giving them hunger and hardship. And in the other hand, you are attempting to actually increase your own take home pay. So it does not marry together. It does not show empathy for the people. It does not show concern for the people, the millions of Nigerians that can hardly move around these days, that can hardly afford to have a 1 square meal a day. So this is the wrongest time to talk about increment for our for our public servants. So this is not the right time to even think of that.
Mr. Steve, is it wrong for the public office holders to make sacrifices? Because over time, they've been telling us to make sacrifices. Like currently now, the National Assembly itself is spending about 24 billion or thereabout to renovate just their own complex alone. That is not to talk about their overheads, budget and all of that. So what do you think? Is public office holders, is it just about them, or indeed is about Nigeria, given what we are saying?
Of course, it's actually all about them. We have not elected or recruited the right political leaders that will be empathic, that will be that will consider the sufferings or the plight of the entire Nigeria. So we continue to harvest from the wrong of the crop of politicians that have presented themselves to serve us. So our public office holders are actually not considering the sufferings or the economic situations, most of these decisions. So they are not rather tightening their own belt. They are forcing Nigerians to tighten their own belt, make adjustments, make provisions, just like I talked about the fuel subsidy, the electricity tariff, the taxes, name it. All are choking Nigerians, making life more difficult for Nigerians to exist while they are living big. So they are not empathetic to the sufferings of Nigeria. They are not actually making any efforts also to, shape some of these very privileges or rights they may think they have over the finances. So the cost of governance continues to go up as we speak. The recurrent expenditure is what is meant to use to service the capital expenditure, which is the capital component of our appropriation laws. You find out that the recurrent continue to soar the recurrent continues to grow. The recurrent encompasses these various salaries, wages, allowances, travel trip, training costs, and all the rest of them. Over 70% compared to 30% of the capital project. And even in that 30% of the capital, which is for the people, remember I said that the recurrent is used to service the capital. The essence of you as a public office holder, a governor, a senator, a legislator, a judge, or what, is to serve the people. And the people are the one receiving the capital components of the budget, which is this 30%. In most often, the same capital component of our budget is under-implemented, less than 15-20%, sometimes 30% when they tried. So Nigerians continue to suffer. The office of the president of the citizen, the office of the president of the citizen is being neglected. Rather, these people actually do all they could to actually service their own offices in the essence of most of these very policies or recommendations they have actually brought up.
Okay, Mr. Steve, let's in 30 seconds, what do you think the Labour should do with regards to what has just happened now? Though there have been reactions from CSO and of course the Labour as well, there's also been discussion about what to do with the removal of fuel subsidy or with the federal government as well. So with what has happened now, what do you think NLC and of course the other unions should do with regards to what has happened?
I think at this point it shouldn't be left in the hands of the organized labor, the CEOs, non-governmental organization, and the entire Nigerians. Office of the citizens of Nigeria should all wake up, because we are just talking about all of us. We should not be left it in the hands of the labor. In fact, it's even wrong most times when most of these policies that bite hard on Nigerians, and we be leaving it in the hands of the organized labor. Yes, the word organized labor, they help to aggregate or galvanize the opinions of the rest of the poorest of the poor of Nigeria. Yes, I agree. But the sufferings, the trekking, the hardship is not only suffered by civil servant that belongs to the labor. Is suffered by Nigerians. So every one of us should wake up now and speak against policies or policies of the government, policies of this nature that is not helping our economy, is not helping Nigerians. So we all should rise. We should not left it in the hands of the CEOs or the CSOs or the labor organization. We all should rise. This policy is biting negatively hard on Nigerians, and we all should speak against it, speak through our constituencies, and speak through all rules that we have are available for us. So we should not be left in the hands of labor, because I know for sure that at the end of the day, labor will be compensated by increment of their salary. What about the increment? What about the ordinary citizens that don't earn from federal government?
Absolutely. Mr. Steve Nwachukwu, I must thank you for your time on Business Daily today. Your contribution is indeed very, very germane. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And with that is a wrap on Business Daily today. I am Yusuf Akogu. Join us tomorrow for more.